Alright, hello everybody. This is part 21 of Brics. So, this is part 21 of Brics, and just so everybody knows, the purpose of this is for research. The primary purpose for it is for my novel so that I can keep track of important events because of the way how my novel is written. Because I want to provide clarity here. Um, so, but so this is just for research purposes. And however you want to take it is all up to you. Um, so let's continue. We're at post 2015. Shift to prioritize Southeast Asian targets. BRI, Malaysia East Coast, Rail Link, and Cambodia elections. So basically, before 2015, like it says right here, they were mostly targeting Western companies. And now there was a shift to Southeast Asia that had a lot of cyber-linked espionage. And in this, you are going to see that China was in Malaysia, Cambodia, and Indonesia. Okay? And, this paragraph right here talks about a lot of corruption that was going on. That had to do with the Malaysian government and this East Coast rail link. And the Chinese hacker group called Attempt to Con activity. And then we get into Cambodia's election that has compromised Cambodian government entities and officials and elections. And right here, previous target set includes but it's interesting that this was going on, and then in 2020 our election thing happened, and so I'm wondering if this was a testing ground for that. Okay, so and their infrastructure of their whole cyber hacking thing goes into everything from maritime targets to maritime related targets across multiple verticals, including engineering firms, shipping and transportation, manufacturing, defense, government offices, and research universities. There's even strong evidence that it's also in professional consulting services, the high-tech industry, healthcare, and media and publishing. China has infected everything. Almost everything, I would say. And, okay, so, this Chinese-based hacking group called Conference Crew, right here, has been identified as part of this activity focused in East Asian media surveillance. The group leveraged a cyber backdoor called Evil Nest. Oh my god, why would you call your backdoor Evil Nest? That just doesn't sound good. And Evil Nest operations have targeted Southeast Asian judiciary and government entities and highlights the campaign's ongoing interest in the region. Given historic activity, it is likely that there will be consistent targeting of media and government entities in Southeast Asia that utilize the tactics witnessed in East Asia. Keep that in mind. Okay, now we're enhanced Chinese cyber priorities. Okay, so there's a difference between Chinese cyber espionage um, at its current state than from 2012 to 2015. Operations from 2012 to 2015 were characterized by high volumes, IP theft, and effort duplication. Activity since 2016 has become more focused and has exhibited significant changes. Now let's look at the goals here. So from 2016 to 2019, we can see a shift from, it sounds like, more business to strategic intelligence gathering and competitive advantage to more like military. Target pattern, somewhat opportunistic sector, the high tech and other innovative sectors, and then more efficient and purposeful, i.e., targeting the communication backbone and organizations with access to third parties. Tempo, high volume, lower volume, TTPs, noisy, persistent, more stealthy, agile, complex, to attribute to better OPSEC. Actor mix, you can read that right here. Geographic distribution was focused on US and now focused on Asia. Okay. China appears to be increasingly focused on the global communications backbone. Likely, okay. Sorry, I was momentarily interrupted by a phone call, but it was important. Okay, so basically, China appears to be increasingly focused on global communications backbone, likely as a means of acquiring data from and access to many different entities that use these services. Data sets demonstrate that telecommunications supplanted governments as the sector most frequently targeted by Chinese actors from January 2016 to August of 2019. Okay, and they've become more stealthier and agile at doing what they do. A significant exception to the above trends was the Hoffenheim attacks on Microsoft exchanges in 2021. Whilst the operation began as a low-volume and stealthy attempt to compromise government and high-value target systems, it rapidly degraded into a high-volume onslaught aimed at any exposed and unpatched system. I'm reading. Chinese groups are using supply chain and third-party compromises, a technique that makes detecting and preventing intrusions more difficult for victims, whilst also increasing the payoffs when a system is compromised. As the overall standard of cybersecurity and defense increases, the time and cost to compromise systems also increases. Therefore, targets capable of a wider blast damage, such as a managed service providers and supply chain attacks, are likely to become more attractive. Okay, so why is China going after Southeast Asia? Okay, so we're seeing increased Chinese military involvement. The simultaneous geographic shift to ASEAN and targeting telecommunications, media likely represent a change in Chinese strategic priorities. South Asia is a dynamic environment with a range of perceived risk and opportunities for Chinese strategic objectives. It is unlikely that this shift is coincidental or simply due to target hardening and heightened cybersecurity awareness in the West, although that may have contributed. Okay, so I'm reading. Okay, so let's skip all the BS. Okay, so in the most recent 3 years, okay, so 7 military regions were replaced by um, 5 new theater commands as part of Xi Jinping's military reform and consolidation of power. As part of this restructuring, computer network and attack operations, which previously fell under 3PLA and 4PLA under the PLA General Staff Department, were consolidated under the PLA Strategic Support Force. Okay. Okay, so this system right here is responsible for information warfare with a mission set that includes cyber warfare, technical reconnaissance, electronic warfare, and psychological warfare. Okay. What war are they preparing to attack? Southeast Asia? Okay, let's find out priorities. Okay, so the Northern Command focused on economic strategy, strategic competition, and safeguarding national interest. The Eastern, responsible for safeguarding national unity, territorial sovereignty, maritime rights and interests, and the economy and social development, security, and stability of the Eastern region. The South, the most active, focused on maintaining Chinese sovereignty claims in the South China Sea. Evidence also suggests that this command has responsibility for the southern section of the BRI that extends into Africa. Okay, the two major areas of concern for this command are to act as a deterrent to India, to deal with internal stability and external influences that could impact Chinese domestic security concerns in Tibet and Xinjiang. However, it is presently unclear if the Chinese espionage teams handling these operations are based in the Western Command or perhaps part of the MSS. Okay, the Central Command. This command primarily focuses on capital security and ensuring stability around Beijing leadership. Okay. Northern Command. Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, Mongolia, South Korea. Interesting. Why is Northern Command in Ukraine? Eastern Command, Japan and Taiwan. Southern Command, Australia, Myanmar, Cambodia, Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore, Laos, Thailand, Malaysia, and Vietnam. Western Command, India, Tajikistan, Iran, Turkey, Kuwait, Uzbekistan, blah blah blah. Central Command, unknown. Okay, hold on. China's cyber-based operation group called Tonto Team was an integral component of cyber espionage activities that are based in the north, were determined to be regionally focused on China's northeast neighbors, including Russia, North South Korea, and Japan. In the years since, the North region is under a realignment as has expanded to encompass a much larger geographic region of espionage activity, including Southeast Asia. So the Northern Command, as you can see, is heading south to it. It's believed that Japan was moved from the northern region of responsibility to the Eastern Command around 2018, based on overlapping cyber infrastructure. Okay. Wasn't much importance. Okay. Okay. So, the 2015 reforms of the PLA brought about a greater focus on joint planning and strategic support. The separation between the Ministry of State Security and the PLA responsibilities, remember this, the PLA is the People's Liberation Army, as they pertain to cyber operations is beyond the scope of this paper. It is anticipated that PLA operations are likely to align more with military strategic issues than MSS operations, which are likely to align with traditional intelligence services. Okay, so out of this, we see that China is shifting its focus to a more regional influence than from the United States. It makes me wonder what the United States and China were setting up when Obama was president. Because to me, what it sounds like they were setting up was the economic downfall of the United States. Because remember, Hillary was supposed to be in there instead of Trump. And what Biden did was what Hillary was supposed to do. And if Harris gets elected, she would finish the job. That's why everybody went nuts on the left side when Trump won. And I hope you guys are seeing that, because China was heavily involved in the U.S. when Obama was president. Because the Democrats and China, Russia, and Iran are all aligned. So China was able to steal the United States information a lot easier. Then in 2015, when China had their information from the United States, now they're coming into Southeast Asia because they know war is coming. And they're taking over a lot before anything gets started. China's basically setting it up in Asia and in Africa to where it's like they don't even have to win the war with firing a shot, because they're embedded in all their cyber operations, as if they basically control almost anything linked to a computer they can get into. Oh, man. This is strategy. Alright, so this is Brics 21, part 21. This was all for research. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys have a good one. Peace out. Bye.